Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit in, no matter how hard you try? Like you're too different, too deep, or just alone, even in a crowded room? What if I told you that feeling isn't a flaw? It's a sign you're a chosen one, destined for something extraordinary. Hi, I'm Emma Harper, and I've been there, feeling isolated, broke, and wondering why life seems so tough for people like us. But here's the secret I discovered. Those struggles are your greatest strength in disguise. Stick with me, because in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to reveal why you feel this way, how to turn your loneliness into power, and a simple exercise that changed my life in just 30 days. I was 25, sitting in my tiny apartment in Austin, Texas, with barely enough money for rent. Friends? I could count them on one hand, and even then, they didn't really get me. I felt like an outsider, like I was carrying a light that scared people away. Sound familiar? That's when I realized I wasn't broken, I was chosen. Chosen ones, like you and me, vibrate at a different frequency. Our energy challenges others, but it also sets us on a path to transform the world. In this video, you'll discover 3 things: why you feel so alone, how your struggles are preparing you for a bigger purpose, and practical steps to attract the relationships and abundance you deserve. But here's the kicker. By the end, I'll share a game-changing exercise that helped me go from lonely and broke to living my purpose with confidence. You don't want to miss this. So, let's dive in. Your journey as a chosen one starts right now. Why do chosen ones feel so alone? Have you ever walked into a room full of people, yet felt like you were the only one truly there? Like, no matter how much you try to connect, something holds you back, and people just drift away? If that hits home, here's the truth. You're not broken, and you're definitely not alone in feeling this way. Welcome to the first big revelation about being a chosen one, why we often feel so isolated. Stick with me, because I'm going to share why this happens, a story that changed how I see loneliness, and a key mistake you might be making that's keeping you stuck. Plus, there's a surprising twist at the end of this part that'll make you rethink everything. Let's start with a story. A few years ago, I met Sarah, a yoga teacher from Austin, Texas. Sarah was the kind of person who lit up any space she entered. Kind, insightful, and always ready to help. People were drawn to her at first. They'd flock to her classes, rave about her energy, and call her their new best friend. But after a few weeks, something strange happened. Those same people started pulling away. They'd make excuses, stop showing up, or just ghost her entirely. Sarah was heartbroken. She thought, what's wrong with me? Why can't I keep friends? Sound familiar? I've been there too, wondering why my light seemed to push people away instead of pulling them closer. Here's what I discovered, and it's the core of why chosen ones like you and Sarah feel so alone. You carry a unique energy, a kind of spiritual light that's both magnetic and intense. Think of yourself as a lighthouse on a stormy night. Your light draws people in. They're curious, inspired, maybe even a little awestruck. But that same light also illuminates things they're not ready to see. Maybe it's their insecurities, their fears, or truths about themselves they've buried deep. Your presence acts like a mirror, reflecting back what they're hiding, and for many, that's uncomfortable. So, they distance themselves, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your energy challenges them to grow, and not everyone's ready for that. Let me paint a picture to make this clearer. Imagine you're in a dimly lit room where everyone's comfortable, used to the shadows. They've learned to live with the dust and clutter because it's familiar. Then you walk in, carrying a bright lantern. Suddenly, everything's exposed. The beauty, yes, but also the mess they've ignored. Some people love the light. They're ready to clean up and grow. But others? They'd rather stay in the dark, so they step back, leaving you standing there, wondering why. That's what it means to be a chosen one. Your energy vibrates at a higher frequency, and it naturally filters out those who aren't aligned with your purpose. Now, let's talk about a common mistake we make when we feel this loneliness, and I've been guilty of this too. When people pull away, it's tempting to dim your light to fit in. Maybe you stop sharing your deep thoughts, hide your passions, or try to be someone you're not, just to keep people around. I did this in my early 20s, pretending to care about small talk or trends I didn't vibe with, just to feel less alone. But here's the truth. Dimming your light doesn't just betray who you are, it attracts the wrong people. You end up surrounded by relationships that drain you, leaving you even more isolated in the long run. Sarah made this mistake too. until she realized that trying to be normal was stealing her joy. So what's the lesson here? Embrace your light, even if it feels lonely at times. Your energy is your superpower, and it's meant to attract the right people, those who are ready to grow, who resonate with your frequency. Sarah learned this the hard way, but came out stronger. After months of feeling rejected, she stopped trying to please everyone and started focusing on her own growth. She joined a meditation group, shared her authentic self online, and slowly attracted a small but incredible circle of friends who truly got her. Today, she runs a thriving yoga community, surrounded by people who love her for who she is. Let's break this down with a quick analysis. Loneliness for chosen ones isn't a curse, it's a filter. It's the universe's way of protecting your energy, making space for relationships that align with your soul's purpose. Psychologically, this makes sense too. Studies show that people with high emotional intelligence, like many chosen ones, often struggle to connect with those who aren't self-aware because their depth can feel overwhelming. Spiritually, your loneliness is a sign you're on a unique path, one that's preparing you for something bigger. Here's a practical takeaway to start shifting this today. Instead of chasing connections, focus on being your authentic self. Try this simple exercise. Write down 3 qualities that make you unique. Maybe your empathy, your creativity, or your vision for a better world. Then, find one place where you can share those qualities, like a community group, an online forum, or even a coffee shop conversation. Start small, but stay true to you. When you do, you'll begin to attract people who see and value your light. Now, here's the twist I promised. What if your loneliness isn't just about filtering out the wrong people, but about preparing you for a mission that could change the world? That's right. Your isolation might be the universe's way of giving you space to discover your true purpose. Curious about what that purpose could be? Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll explore how your loneliness is actually a training ground for something extraordinary. Loneliness is preparation for your greater purpose. Have you ever wondered if your loneliness is more than just a painful season? What if it's not a punishment, but a sacred space where the universe is shaping you for something extraordinary? Welcome to the second truth about being a chosen one. Your loneliness is a preparation for your greater purpose. Stay with me, because I'm going to share a story that changed how I view solitude, a mistake that almost derailed me, and a simple practice that can transform your lonely moments into powerful growth. Plus, there's a surprising insight at the end that'll make you see your isolation in a whole new light. Let's start with a story. Meet Michael, a musician from New York City. Michael was the kind of guy who could make anyone smile with his guitar and soulful lyrics. But a few years ago, he hit a rough patch. Friends drifted away, gigs dried up, and he found himself alone in his tiny Brooklyn apartment, questioning everything. He told me, "Emma, I felt like I was invisible. No one got my music, my dreams, or me." Sound familiar? I've had those nights too, staring at the ceiling, wondering why I felt so disconnected. But Michael's story didn't end there. During those lonely months, he started writing music from his heart, not for fame, but for healing. That solitude became his creative cocoon, and a year later, he released an album that touched thousands of lives. Today, he's performing sold-out shows, all because he embraced that lonely season. Here's the truth. Your loneliness as a chosen one isn't random. It's a spiritual boot camp, a time when the universe pulls you away from distractions to help you heal, grow, and connect with your true self. Think of it like a caterpillar in a cocoon. It's dark, it's isolating, but it's where the transformation happens. In those quiet moments, you're forced to face old wounds, maybe a childhood memory of feeling misunderstood or a heartbreak that still stings. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Those wounds are like cracks in your soul, and healing them makes you stronger, ready to step into the purpose you were born for. Let me share a personal moment. When I was 25, living in Austin, I went through a year where I felt like I had no one. I just moved to the city, chasing a dream to inspire others, but I was alone, broke, and doubting myself. I kept asking, why is this so hard? Then one night, I started journaling about my fears, my dreams, and who I wanted to be. That solitude forced me to confront parts of myself I'd ignored, like my fear of rejection. It was painful, but it was also liberating. In that quiet space, I discovered my passion for helping people like you embrace their unique path. That's when I realized, loneliness isn't a dead end. It's a doorway to your destiny. Now, here's a mistake I made, and one you might be making too. When loneliness hits, it's tempting to fill the void with distractions, endless Netflix binges, shallow relationships, or pretending you're fine when you're not. I did this, chasing people who didn't get me, just to avoid the silence. But here's the problem. Running from loneliness robs you of its gifts. Solitude is where you heal old wounds, uncover your passions, and hear the quiet voice of your purpose. When you avoid it, you delay the transformation the universe is preparing you for. So, what's the lesson? Lean into your loneliness with intention. Use it as a time to reconnect with yourself. Here's a simple practice that helped me and can help you too. Every day for a week, spend 10 minutes journaling about 3 things: what you're grateful for, 1 fear you want to release, and 1 dream you want to pursue. This small act of self-reflection can uncover truths about yourself you didn't even know were there. Michael did something similar, writing songs in his lonely moments, and it led to his breakthrough. You don't need to be a musician, just be honest with yourself. Let's analyze this for a moment. Psychologically, solitude boosts self-awareness and creativity. Studies show that time alone can spark innovative ideas and emotional clarity. Spiritually, it's a sacred pause, aligning you with your higher purpose. Your loneliness is the universe's way of saying, you're not ready for the spotlight yet, but I'm preparing you for something big. Here's the surprising insight I promised. Your loneliness isn't just about you. It's about the impact you're destined to make. The universe is carving out this space to strengthen your gifts, so when the time comes, you can shine for others. Curious about how to turn this preparation into action and attract the right people into your life? Stay tuned, because the next part will reveal how your solitude can lead to meaningful connections. Why do chosen ones face financial struggles? Have you ever looked at your bank account and wondered why, despite all your talent and hard work, you're still scraping by? If you're nodding along, feeling like financial stability is just out of reach, here's a truth that might surprise you. As a chosen one, your money struggles aren't a sign of failure. They're part of your unique path. Welcome to the third big revelation about being a chosen one. Why financial hardship seems to follow us and how it's secretly preparing you for something greater. Stick with me, because I'm going to share a story that flipped my perspective, a common mistake you might be making, and a practical step to start shifting your financial reality. Plus, there's a twist at the end that'll make you rethink your struggles. Let's dive into a story. Meet Lisa, a therapist from Houston, Texas. Lisa had a gift for helping people heal emotionally. She could light up someone's soul with just a conversation. But for years, she barely made ends meet. She turned down high-paying corporate jobs because they felt soulless, choosing instead to work with clients who couldn't always pay much. Lisa once told me, "Emma, I know I'm meant to do this work, but why is it so hard to pay my bills?" I felt that in my bones. In my own journey, I've had months in Austin where I chose passion projects over paychecks, only to stress about rent. If this sounds like you, you're not alone. Here's why chosen ones often face financial struggles. Your purpose doesn't align with society's obsession with material wealth. You're wired differently. While others chase promotions or stock market wins, you're drawn to work that feeds your soul, whether it's creating, healing, or inspiring. That choice often comes with a smaller paycheck, at least at first. Your energy is focused on higher vibrations like authenticity and impact, not just profit. Think of money as a river. Society's path channels it one way, but your path flows in a different direction, making it harder to tap into that stream using conventional methods. For Lisa, this meant choosing clients over corporate gigs, even when it left her broke. Let me share a moment from my own life. When I started my journey in Austin, I poured my heart into a blog about personal growth, but it barely paid. I'd see others making bank with jobs I couldn't stomach, and I'd wonder, am I doing this wrong? Then I realized, my financial struggles were a test of faith, pushing me to trust my purpose over instant rewards. That shift in perspective was everything. Lisa had a similar revelation. She started offering online workshops, blending her passion for healing with a new way to earn. Today, she's financially stable and impacting lives worldwide. Here's a mistake we often make, and I've been there. When money's tight, it's tempting to abandon your purpose for a safe job that doesn't align with your soul. I once took a side gig that drained me, thinking it'd solve my problems. It didn't. It just left me exhausted and further from my path. Chasing money over meaning creates an energy block, keeping abundance at bay. For chosen ones, wealth flows when you align with your purpose, not when you betray it. So, what's the lesson? Trust that your financial struggles are temporary and part of your growth. Start by finding one small way to monetize your gifts that feels authentic. For example, if you love teaching, try creating an online course. If you're an artist, sell prints or offer workshops. Lisa did this with her therapy sessions, and it changed everything. Here's a practical step. Write down one skill you're passionate about and brainstorm 3 ways to share it with the world. Maybe a blog, a YouTube channel, or a local class. Take one tiny action this week, like posting about your work online. Let's break it down. Spiritually, your struggles are a call to trust the universe's plan. Practically, they're pushing you to get creative with your gifts. Studies show that purpose-driven work often leads to long-term success, even if it's slow to start. Your path is just different, not wrong. Here's the twist I promised. What if your financial struggles are actually clearing out old energy to make room for abundance that matches your soul? Curious about how to unlock that abundance? Stay with me, because the next part will reveal a simple practice that changed my financial reality. How to turn financial struggles into strength. What if your empty bank account isn't a curse, but a catalyst for unlocking your true power? As a chosen one, those financial struggles you're facing might feel like a heavy burden, but they're actually a training ground for your greatest transformation. Welcome to the 4th truth about being a chosen one. How to turn financial hardship into strength that fuels your purpose. Stay with me, because I'm going to share a story that shifted my entire mindset, a mistake that almost held me back, and a powerful practice that can change your financial reality. Plus, there's a surprising revelation at the end that'll make you see your struggles in a new light. Let's start with a story. Meet James, a writer from Los Angeles. James had a gift for words. His stories could move people to tears. But for years, he lived paycheck to paycheck, scraping by in a cramped apartment. He poured his heart into his writing, but the world didn't seem to notice. James once told me, "Emma, I know my words matter, but why can't I make a living doing what I love?" I've been there too, staring at my bank account in Austin, wondering if chasing my purpose was a mistake. But James's story didn't end in struggle. During his toughest months, he started journaling his dreams and fears, which led to a novel that became a bestseller. Today, he's living his purpose and financially thriving. His secret? He turned his financial struggles into a source of strength. Here's the truth. Your financial hardships as a chosen one are not a sign you're failing. They're a test of faith and resilience. Think of them as a spiritual gym, where every challenge strengthens your ability to trust the universe and align with your purpose. Money is just energy, and when you're broke, it's often because your energy is focused on higher values, like healing, creating, or inspiring, rather than chasing profit. But that doesn't mean abundance is out of reach. It means you're being called to find a path to wealth that honors your soul. For James, this meant writing from his heart, even when it didn't pay right away. For me, it was sharing my journey through a blog, trusting that my purpose would lead to provision. Let me share a personal moment. When I was struggling in Austin, I hit a low point where I could barely afford groceries. I felt like giving up, but one night, I tried a visualization exercise. I closed my eyes and pictured myself living my purpose, helping others while being financially free. That simple act shifted something in me. I started small, offering workshops based on my passion, and within months, opportunities began to flow. It wasn't instant, but it was proof that aligning with my purpose opened doors. Here's a mistake we often make, and I've fallen into this trap. When money's tight, it's easy to think you need to abandon your calling for a practical job. I once took a soul-draining gig just for the paycheck, and it left me miserable. It was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. For chosen ones, chasing money at the expense of purpose creates an energy block, keeping abundance away. James made this mistake too, taking freelance jobs he hated, until he realized his true wealth came from his authentic work. So, what's the lesson? Your financial struggles are a call to trust your path and get creative with your gifts. Here's a practice that changed my life. Every morning for a week, spend 5 minutes visualizing yourself living your purpose with financial ease. See yourself sharing your gifts, whether it's teaching, creating, or helping others, and imagine abundance flowing to you. Then, take one small action toward that vision, like posting about your passion online or reaching out to a potential client. James did this by sharing his stories on social media, which led to his big break. Let's break it down. Spiritually, this practice aligns your energy with abundance. Practically, it builds confidence to take action. Research shows that visualization can rewire your brain for success, boosting motivation and creativity. Your struggles are teaching you to trust that the universe has your back. Here's the surprising revelation. What if your financial struggles are clearing out old beliefs to make room for a kind of abundance that's bigger than money? Curious about how to know if you're truly a chosen one? The next part will reveal 5 signs that prove you're on this path. signs you're a chosen one, and how to live your true purpose. Have you ever felt like you were born for something bigger, but you're not sure what it is? Or maybe you've sensed you're different, like you see the world in a way others don't. If that resonates, you might be a chosen one. And today, we're going to uncover the signs that prove it. Welcome to the fifth truth about being a chosen one, recognizing who you are and how to live your true purpose. Stick with me, because I'm going to share a story that hit me hard, a mistake that could keep you stuck, and a simple step to start living your destiny. Plus, there's a powerful twist at the end that'll inspire you to take action today. Let's start with a story. Meet Emma. Not me, but Emma Rodriguez, a community organizer from Chicago. Emma always felt out of place growing up. She was the kid who asked big questions, cared deeply about others, and dreamed of changing the world. But she felt alone, like no one understood her vision. One day, she joined a local activist group, and everything clicked. She realized her sensitivity, her drive, and her knack for inspiring others weren't quirks. They were signs of her purpose. Today, Emma leads a movement that's transformed her community, all because she embraced who she was. I've had moments like that too, sitting in my Austin apartment, wondering if my big dreams were crazy, until I saw them as clues to my calling. So what are the signs you're a chosen one? Here are 5 that might ring true for you. First, you're highly sensitive. You feel emotions deeply, whether it's joy or pain, and you pick up on others' energies like a radar. Second, you have a strong intuition, like an inner voice guiding you, even when logic says otherwise. Third, you feel like you don't quite fit in, as if you're a puzzle piece from a different picture. Fourth, you crave a life of meaning. Money or status alone doesn't satisfy you. You want impact. And fifth, you inspire others, even without trying. People often say your words or presence shift their perspective. Sound like you? I saw these signs in myself when I started sharing my journey, and it was a wake-up call that I was meant for more. Here's a personal moment. When I was 26, I felt lost in Austin, unsure if my passion for helping others was just a pipe dream. Then I met a mentor who pointed out these signs in me: my sensitivity, my intuition, my hunger for purpose. She said, "Emma, you're not lost, you're chosen." That moment changed everything. I started small, sharing my story online, and it led to connections with people who shared my vision. Emma Rodriguez had a similar shift when she embraced her role as a leader, turning her weirdness into her strength. Now, here's a mistake we often make, and I've done this too. When you feel different, it's easy to compare yourself to others and think you're falling behind. I used to scroll through social media, seeing people with normal lives, stable jobs, big houses, and wonder if I was wrong to chase my purpose. But comparison is a trap. It dims your light and delays your destiny. Emma made this mistake, trying to fit into a corporate job before realizing it wasn't her path. For chosen ones, your uniqueness is your power, not a flaw. So what's the lesson? Embrace the signs that you're a chosen one and start living your purpose now. Here's a simple practice. Take 10 minutes today to write down one big dream you've always had. Maybe starting a business, helping others, or creating something new. Then, list one small step you can take this week to move toward it, like joining a community group, posting about your passion, or taking a class. Emma started by volunteering at a local event, which led to her leading a movement. Small steps align your energy with your purpose. Let's break it down. Spiritually, recognizing these signs connects you to your divine path. Practically, it gives you clarity to act. Studies show that people who align with their purpose report higher life satisfaction. Your signs are your roadmap. Here's the twist. What if being a chosen one means you're not just here to live your purpose, but to inspire others to find theirs? Your journey could light the way for someone else. Ready to take the first step? The conclusion will give you a powerful tool to start today. Conclusion. So, here we are, at the end of this journey together, and I hope you're seeing your loneliness and struggles in a new light. As a chosen one, your path isn't easy, but it's powerful. You're not alone because you're broken. You're alone because you're being prepared for a purpose that's bigger than you ever imagined. Your financial hardships? They're not a dead end. They're a test, shaping you into someone who can create abundance that aligns with your soul. I've shared stories of Sarah, Michael, Lisa, James, and Emma Rodriguez, people who turned their challenges into strength. And I've been there too, sitting in my Austin apartment, wondering if I'd ever find my place. But here's what I learned. Every moment of struggle is a step toward your destiny. Let me leave you with one final story. A year ago, I felt stuck, lonely, broke, and doubting myself. Then I started embracing my light, trusting my path, and taking small steps like sharing my journey online. Those steps led me to this moment, speaking to you, helping you see that you're not alone. You're a chosen one, a masterpiece in progress, and your challenges are sculpting you into someone who can change the world. What's the takeaway? Your loneliness and struggles are temporary, but your purpose is eternal. Right now, ask yourself, what's one dream you've been holding back? What's one step you can take today to live more authentically? Maybe it's journaling, joining a community, or sharing your gifts. Whatever it is, start now because the world needs your light. Here's my challenge to you. If this video resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Share your story in the comments. I read everyone, and I want to hear how you're embracing your path as a chosen one. Hit that like button if you're ready to turn your struggles into strength, and subscribe so you don't miss our next video, where I'll share a simple trick that brought me financial breakthroughs in just 30 days. And please, share this with someone who feels lost. They might be a chosen one too, waiting for this message. You're not just living for yourself, you're lighting the way for others. So, take that first step today. Your purpose is calling, and I believe in you. Let's keep shining together.